And I'm going to pin.
We've got half an hour only?
Yeah.
Okay, can you give me a 5-minute warning at the end?
Yeah, I'll go like this.
Okay.
All right. You're pinned, baby.
Oh, I love being pinned. Oh, Jesus, how did that come out? Anyway.
No filter.
It's been a while, guys. Hey, look, for those of you who have not met me before, I'm Natalie Baldock. I'm one of the national marketing directors for the Juice Plus company. I am Noreen's really great friend from Perth. We went to high school together, and she saw my little post on Facebook, having a fat old time traveling the world, and she said, I'm in. I want this life too. And she is halfway to the top, and I'm so excited for her, and I'm so excited for this team. We had an amazing call this morning, and it just blew me away. It actually was the highlight of my day. I was like, oh my God, I love my job. 8.5 years in, and I am still loving every moment of this. So I guess for tonight's training, Noreen wanted me to take you through a training that I'm going to be doing for America. America does this thing called the pajama regional, where everyone actually sits in their pajamas at home for a whole night, Friday night, and all day Saturday, with all their teenies in the house, and everyone watches all these incredible leaders from around the world chime in for an hour at a time. So there's probably about 12 trainers. Anyway, we are totally invited to this. But I'll be speaking on the Friday night. I've been given the amazing position of being the keynote speaker on the Friday night, and I've been asked to do a talk on the 10 commandments to our business, like the 10 rules of engagement, the 10 things that actually make this business go around. And, you know, I remember reading this book about 7 years ago that was just randomly given to me, and it was called The Greatest Salesman in the World. And it's by Og Mandino. Now, I did a little bit of research on Og Mandino, and he was one of the very first global personal development coaches of the 1970s. Now, when he wrote his first book, he was in corporate. He was 100% unhappy in that because he never saw his kids, and he decided to follow his passion of writing. So he sold everything and moved to a country town and moved into a lighthouse with his family. And he spent days and weeks and months and years in this lighthouse writing during the day with the most beautiful view in the world. And he wrote this incredible book. And his biggest fear was when he wrote this book that it would not sell. And he was like, oh my God, I don't know if this is going to sell. Anyway, he just pounded the pavement, talked to as many people as he possibly could. And the first customer that he had was Amway. Amway bought 10,000 copies of his book, and that was the first buy-in to his book. Now, that company built their whole entire global success on this book. So I just want to share it with you. Now, because it was written in the 70s, and because it was written called The Greatest Salesman in the World, and because it was a book that was actually written about biblical times, it has a different language. So what I'm going to do is interpret the 10 commandments for everybody, because sorry everyone, that was just my phone going off. So the actual commandments, they are so succinct for network marketing, but they're actually succinct to life. They're actually succinct to any kind of business that you would be starting off from the very beginning. So let's just go through them. First of all, the key to this whole book is never, ever keep your dreams waiting. And so many of us do. We were dreaming as kids about what we wanted to do with our whole lives. And we dreamt when we were teenagers about where we would be in our life. And for some crazy reason, humans have this innate ability to just null and void what they know in their heart to be right and true and fit into a system so they're not prejudged or so they're not, put into a different category. No one wants to stand out. Everyone wants to fit in. But the best thing about Juice Plus and the best thing about this business is that we get to stand out and be a part of a loving community. Each and every one of you has got a gift and a skill that you can bring to the table. And as a team, we highlight each other's gifts and skills, and we utilize them for the greater good to create the ripple effect. My passion is whole food nutrition. Noreen's is naturopathy. And she's now got another dream to bring mining husbands home and to actually change people's lives when husbands work away and bring them home. My vision is to connect humanity, to get the Islamics and the Muslims and the Buddhists and everyone talking through this business, this network marketing business where I get to travel the world. So all the gifts and skills we have, we get to bring to the table. So let's go through these 1 to 10. Okay, first rule of engagement is never again will I pity or belittle myself. I love this, right? Because how many of us have self-talk that is so increasingly damaging each and every day? I mean, even if we're very super positive, we have those moments where we think, oh, I don't know if I can do this, or kids are driving me nuts, or I don't have enough time, or, you know, there's something else for me. Everyone's got negative self-talk. We can't help that. But never again will I pity or belittle myself. Now, I love this because this is about the power of positive thinking. You have incredible gifts and you are an amazing human being. This whole business has been set up for the average person with the above average heart. And that's what I love about it. This isn't for doctors, scientists, the puritanical. It's not for the astute vegans. It's not for the extremists. This is for 95% of the world that is just doing it tough, who's just trying to get ahead and create a little bit of a difference in the world. So one of the things that I've always strived for in my own personal self-worth is to make sure I check my language, make sure that I don't say things that are negative towards myself, because whatever I say, whatever I think, and whatever I feel, I become. So I choose to say, I'm an incredible woman with a big heart. I reach the masses around the world. I help, inspire, and create incredible leaders that shine in their own light. I have an amazing team of people around me that light me up, and I do the same to them. So this is the language that we need to have. So the first rule of engagement is really always watch and check your language. Make sure that you're always using positive language, particularly downline. Never bitch, whinge, or complain downline. That only ever goes upline. If you've got a problem, and it's a big one, come to myself or Noreen. Go to Nor's first. Okay, so go to your leadership. You never want to poison your downline. Okay, rule number 2. Never again will I greet the dawn without a map. I love this. If you've got no plan, the universe doesn't know what to give you. So if you've got no plan whatsoever, if you have not written down what you want in your life, if you do not have a dream board, if you haven't articulated and being held accountable to a friend what you want out of this lifetime, there's no way you're going to get it. Okay, so I'll give you an example. So if I go around every single day saying to the universe, I want to help people, I want to help people, I want to help people, do you know what happens? The universe gives me a shitload of people that need a lot of help, and it's draining and it's tiring. So when I articulate, this is my tribe, this is my avatar, these are the people I want to help. I want to help women who are struggling to leave corporate. I want to help women find freedom. I want women between the age of 35 and 45 that have lost their self-worth or found themselves extremely fatigued within the structure and the constraints of what they're doing. And I want to show them that this life can be joyous and magical. So that's the thing, is that my map is already set out for me. So all the women I have frontline to me are women in my age groups. We speak the same language. I've created that because that is on my dream board and that is in my writing. Every day I write, guys. Every day I write to create a better life for myself. So you must have a map. So if you haven't got onto your dream board, do that. If you haven't articulated what you want in life, if you haven't spoken to your upline and said, this is how much money I want to create, and this is my selfish dream, and this is my teen dream. If you haven't done that, you must do that. Okay, number 3. I will always bathe my days in the golden glow of enthusiasm. Now, I love this. Sometimes enthusiasm is more powerful than knowledge. How many people have you known that have gone to university, studied a degree, and they've never done anything with it because they were never enthusiastic about it, right? But I tell you what, as soon as you get sick and as soon as you start learning about nutrition and as soon as you're enthusiastic about the changes in your body, you can't shut up, right? And you're so excited and people don't even care what you're selling. They're like, shit, I don't know what that shit is, but can I just get on it too? And this is the thing, is that I've never ever had to sell Juice Plus. It sells itself because I'm enthusiastic about the change in humanity. I'm enthusiastic about travel, so people want to know what I'm doing. We create curiosity by being enthusiastic. Now, I'll tell you what, Valerie Gamer won't mind me sharing this story, but Valerie was a secretary. And she was a mama to 2 beautiful children. And she had very little confidence when she came into this business. But she had a shitload of enthusiasm. And she was continuously, every single day, so excited by the business. But she kept making mistakes. Now, how many people do you know when they make a ton of mistakes, one after the other, after the other, after the other, they just give up? Well, Valerie was so enthusiastic that it completely trumped her low self-worth. And what happened is when she had a small win, she grew. She had another small win and she grew. Another small win and then she imploded. And this girl is now, she's gearing towards 75 Club, international marketing director. She's got the biggest heart. She's got the most amazing team of incredible leaders. And 2 of those, 3 of those is Kim Tyak, Kylie Ellard, and Caitlin Field. And these are 23, 24, and 25-year-old NMDs. Now, most people at that age can't afford, to buy Juice Plus. Gen Y kids don't want to spend that kind of money and they're looking for a quick fix. Why is it that these 3 girls got to the top? It's because Val's enthusiasm infected those 3 girls. Now, the 4 of them are like completely crazy and work so hard in this business. But when I say work so hard, they work hard socializing, going to F45, going to the gym, running on the coast, meeting with girlfriends, coffee catch-ups. Their whole life is social, and that's how they build. Kylie came home from conference and put on 11 customers in 1 month just because she was so excited after conference. It was all about enthusiasm. Okay. Never again will I be disagreeable to another living soul. Now, I love this. In sales, the first rule of engagement is always agree with someone and meet them where they're at. So if someone says, oh my God, the product's so expensive, you say, you know what? When I first heard about Juice Plus, I thought it was expensive too. Really expensive. And I didn't know how I was going to afford it. If I could possibly share my story with you, maybe this will help you understand why I decided to afford it. And you share the value you found in the product. And you share that this could be the last thing that you ever had to try, right? And never again will I be disagreeable to another living soul. This whole business is about friendship and it's about connection. And if you want great friends, you always have to, if someone says something you don't agree with, you've got to remember they've got a set of values different to yours. So you've got to know where they're coming from. I'm like a bull in a china shop sometimes. You've got to meet my dad. That doesn't make me not right for some people in the business. It just makes me different to somebody in the business sometimes. Nora's can be super stubborn, and she's like, no, but I know her. I've known her for 30 years and I know her personality. And, that's what makes her tenacious. And that's what makes her never give up. So never, ever will you be disagreeable in this business. Just always agree with people. And I'm not saying you have to outwardly say, I agree with you, but you can say, hey, I can see where you're coming from. It's a really interesting point. I'll take that on board. Thanks for the feedback. You know, it's about always being agreeable and be likable. The most incredible salespeople on the planet are the ones that are most likable, right? Oh my God, I love that guy. He's awesome. I'll buy from him. I don't even know what he's selling, you know? So it's really important to be in tune with your language around someone says something you don't like, breathe and respond, don't react. Okay. Number 5, always will I seek the seed of triumph in every adversity. Shit is going to happen every single day in business. Now, I'll tell you a little secret. I had seemingly a very successful events management company for years before I had Taj. Seemingly. On paper, I made $35,000 a year for 5 years running. That's crazy. I worked 100 hours a week. I looked super successful. I had my website. I had the clothes. I had the car. I had everything. But I was so unhappy, right? And then I started this business. And then I realized that business wasn't actually that difficult. The adversity in our business is very mild in comparison to starting your own business out there. You don't have the same costs. You have a lot of support. You have an incredible product, a long-standing company with history that will always have our backs. The adversity in this business is like this big in comparison to the big bad world out there. And so one of the things that I think is really important to understand is that if you have a bad day, fire yourself and rehire yourself the very next morning. Say, shit, I didn't speak to that customer the way I wanted to. I didn't get the reaction I wanted to from that potential. Why didn't my event work out? Just have a laugh. You know, I've turned up at an event before where I did catering for 40 people. I had champagne in buckets. I had my son being babysat and no one turned up. No one. And I thought I'd have 40, 50 people there. And then Tracy turned up 15 minutes later and we said, oh, let's just make it a training session. So she sat down, we got really drunk and we just laughed and thought, shit, this business is crazy. What's going on? You know, and it's so rare that those things happen. But when they do, all you need is a buddy. You need one person in the business that will laugh with you every time things go wrong, right? Because I'm not going to lie to you guys. This business is not always smooth sailing, but the thing is, right, the wins, that little tiny moment when someone says, thank you for helping me with my health, or the little wins where you see one of your best friends walk the stage as an SSC and from head to toe you just want to burst into tears because you know that if you hadn't have shared it with her, she wouldn't be there. Do you know what I mean? So the thing is, those things totally outweigh any adversity. And everything that goes wrong, see the positive out of it. What did you learn from it? What did you gain from it? And where can you go from here? Okay, number 6. Never will I perform a task at less than my best. Don't turn up with a half-assed attitude to anything. You have no idea that you could be saving the life of one person. I'll give you a great story. It was winter 5 years ago. It was absolutely howling with rain. The rain was coming in sideways. There was definitely no chance of anyone driving that night. But there was an event at a girl's house called Anika. And she asked me to do this event. And Carla was sick with gastro. And they said, Nat, can you do the event? I said, sure, I'll do it. So I dropped Taj off to mum and dad's and I drove in this wet weather and I thought, oh my God, I got there and there was no one there except for Anika. And I was like, and I went, Nat, just breathe. You know, seriously, just train Anika. So we sat there, started training her, and then Abby turned up. She was all wet. Now, Abby turned up and we just had this amazing chat. I did this event as if I had a huge audience of 50, 60 people. Now, in that moment, I performed at my best. That girl is now a 50 club NMD in my business who is rocking it, has a business in Italy, Dubai. She has team in America. She has team all over Australia and now Asia. And she is going to hit 100 club this year. So if I hadn't have performed that task at my best, that would definitely not have happened. So remember, you've got to make every moment count because you don't know who's sitting in front of you. Okay. Number 7, always I will throw my whole self into the task at hand. Now, this is backing up the statement before. We don't want to go into it with a low vibration. We want to go into it with a really high vibration, but we want to stay completely calm in those moments. We don't want to have any elation or any desperation. We really want to have a moment in time where we just have this all-knowing. Now, we know what gratitude is. So I'm really super grateful that you're all here tonight. Make sure you use that language when you go to an event, when you talk to people. Thanks so much for turning up today, babe. This is awesome to see you, right? But also stay in that beautiful state of grace, knowing the universe has got your back. Every moment that you meet with someone, call someone, turn up an event, if they don't order that night, who's not to say you haven't just dropped a seed and 5 years later they turn around and go, I've had a change of heart, my life has changed, I need this business. I'll give you a great example on this one. Marisa Tomei is a friend of mine. She's from South Africa, not the famous one, this is another one. But Marisa is the most beautiful girl. And I've been trying to get her into this business for 5 years. 2 years ago, I let the whole idea go. This morning, I get a WhatsApp from her. I'm leaving my husband this morning. He's left for South Africa. I've got time to move everything out of the house. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I don't have any friends here. Do you think maybe I could take this opportunity to maybe work with you so I have something to do each day to keep my mind off my divorce? And I went, see, the thing is, I was never desperate with her. I never ever threw it at her. I never begged her to do it. I never came from a place of desperation. What I actually did with her was just continuously just touch on her and be a friend and drop a comment in like, babe, why don't you do this with me? You would love it. Oh, no, it's not for me. But her situation changed. So, this is never again will I perform a task any less than my best. But I think this is never again will I perform a task any less than my knowing, right? Number 8. Never again will I wait and hope for opportunity to embrace me. Okay? Now, how many of you are just waiting by the phone or waiting for a good thing to happen in your business? I mean, how many of you are actually going out there each and every single day and making it happen? My favorite saying ever in history is God rewards the brave. Now, this is because when I was sitting in church at one point in time, a long, long time ago, I remember this woman praying and praying and praying that she would get over her cancer. And I just found this profound. Like, she's sitting there praying, hoping her cancer would go away. But she went out and left and went into the tea and coffee room. She had a coffee and she had some jam and cream and scones. And I just watched her eat this stuff and I thought, she's just thinking that maybe God will reward her, for being brave. This isn't about being brave. This is about just waiting for an opportunity to happen to get well. So the thing is, right, if you take action, if you make a plan and if you take action on that plan, and if you actually have 7 seconds of courage to address your chicken list, to call a friend, to reach out to someone and have a coffee, and if you make moves, if you move your legs and get out of your house and go and catch up with people each and every day, God rewards the brave because he knows you're serious, right? Now, I'm not talking religious here. I'm talking universal energy, okay? So God for me means grand organized design. I don't care if you're Buddhist, if you're Muslim, if you're Hindu, if you're Islamic, if you're Christian or Catholic. To me, it's all the same thing, right? It's grand organized design. But you don't get design unless you design your life by planning it out. You don't get the organization unless you actually step out and do the things that you need to do. All right, number 9, sorry. Always will I examine each night my deeds of the fading day. Okay, so this is just about gratitude, right? What are you grateful for? What happened today that was amazing? I mean, Noreen, you would probably be saying, I'm so grateful for our meeting this morning. I'm so grateful for the contacts I made today. I'm so grateful I've got my tribe that's growing. I've got my sexy husband behind me, supporting me. Whoop, whoop. You know, the thing is, every single day, it's truly, truly important to be grateful. If you understood that gratitude was like oxygen for abundance, you would do it every single day. So when you lay your head down at night, you know, I say to Taj every night, babe, what are you grateful for today? What are 3 things you are grateful for today? And he'll say, my mom, my dad, and then he'll say something that happened at school. He always says the same thing. Right? But I do the same thing. I say, what am I grateful for today? I'm really grateful for my growing team. I'm grateful for the engagement. I'm grateful for the mission, the vision. I'm grateful for, you know, the fact that, you know, that bill came in at $70 instead of $700. I was really pleased. You know, I just make sure there's lots of little gratitudes and lots of big ones in there too. So gratitude is like oxygen for abundance. Now, number 10, always will I maintain contact through prayer with my Creator. Now, this is about universal energy. This is about asking master asker questions. So this is about meditation. It's about centering yourself. It's about gratitude, and it's about asking. So when I was saying, you know, universe, I just want to help people, the universe gave me everyone that was difficult, and I was exhausted. So as soon as I asked master asker questions, like, God, show me, universe, show me how to enjoy and appreciate serving humanity at the highest level. Show me my tribe. Show me what they look like. Give me 3 to 5 people this month that I can work with to help create abundance for the planet. And I keep doing that all the time. I'm very specific. So you've got to maintain contact with the Creator. The thing is, right, your language, the way you feel, the way you think is what happens on a daily basis for you. You know, I got myself in a bit of a rut in the last 6 months where I've been working from the inside of my house because I love my house. My house is on the beach. I can see the beach, but I wasn't getting out. So I have to remove myself from the house and go to Bali for a week. And that trip to Bali was all about the charity, but that has created me around maybe 30, 40 new contacts of people that I'm engaged with. So I got home from Bali and I touched base and I said, I'm so grateful that I met you guys. I had a wonderful time catching up with you at the detox night. You know, if there's anything I can ever do for you, if there's anything you ever need from me, if you want to stay somewhere when you come to Perth, I'd love to have you here. And that's created a friendship, and we're backwards and forwards. And it's just about maintaining lots of contact with lots of people. But the only way that I could actually create that shift was to get out of my house. So I got myself in this terrible rut where it's like, why aren't I getting this flow and this traction like I usually do? But I was doing everything else except for actually asking those master asker questions about engagement. I was getting everything I've ever wanted and everything I've ever dreamed of. I've got everything, but I need to step it up into the next place now. So it's about getting out of the house. You know, sometimes we go, it's too cold, I don't want to. You know, I go to the gym, I've met all these new friends, I've got a new yoga studio that I'm going to, I've now got my charity, and I'm reaching out to all these awesome people. I've got Nikita in Bali, I've got you guys in New Zealand. It's so exciting. So anyway, they are the 10 rules of engagement, and I think they're pretty awesome. And, you know, I know that, Noz, if you wanted to do this training, all you'd have to do is actually change the language around those statements. Like what the statements could be, 10 rules of engagement, you know, and I think that it's quite easy. Did everyone get lots of value out of that?
Oh, I'm just going to unmute everyone. Okay.
Yes.
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 That was amazing. I'm going to go run like 7 marathons right now.
But just from another perspective, Tracy, you've got your own business. It applies in all business, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. A lot of them, not just with business, but in your own self-development. And I think you probably find you're you must be doing at least 3 or 4 of those things, particularly the gratitude, meditation, and getting out. As you said, Natalie, I don't think I'm actually doing that, getting out, doing my yoga or exercise or anything like that. And I know how important it is to incorporate, a good, healthy balance.
Yeah, exactly. So Ju is asking, what's number 5 again? Always will I seek the seed of triumph in every adversity. Do you know what? We're repeating this for a reason, right? My favourite saying, other than, God rewards the brave, and this is something I learned from Mitch, who was at conference, is that always see the blessing. Never stay stuck in the story, and actually see the blessing in all the shit that you've been through. In every moment that goes wrong, why don't you see what is advantageous in that moment?
Oh, thank you.
So team, I'll put all these up on Team Araha, so you've got them. I've written them all down. Now that was just fabulous. I just thought that was awesome. Did you make those up, babe, or is that something you got trained in, or? Oh, it was a book.
No, that's the book, Og Mandino's Greatest Salesman in the World. The book's actually about $6, right? It's a little tiny paperback. It's a real 1970s book, right? So Og Mandino was amazing. He wrote 8 books after that, and every single one of them apply to network marketing.
Oh, awesome.
And they're really thin and little, like it takes you about 4 hours to read a book.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth buying them for the team or something, or purchasing a copy.
Yeah. Really cool. Any questions, guys, before we finish up? No questions?
No.
All right, Natty, huge thank you, babe. She's such a natural speaker.
Amazing.
Amazing.
I get a bit excited.
4.5 pages of notes over here.
That's good. So you guys have got another training on now, don't you?
No, we don't. We've got to go and watch Game of Thrones.
Okay. All right. You guys do that. I love you all. Have a ball, and make sure you touch base with Noah's daily because she's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nat. Thanks, Nat.
Bye.
Thanks, Nat.
Thank you, mate.
Bye.
You, Tony. Nice
Thank
meeting
you.
you.
See you guys. Thanks for rolling on the call. We love it.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you all.